I'm Tucker Hurd, and this is my video quiz 1. So in this quiz, I'm going to be talking about the key ideas of each chapter, things I learned in each chapter, why these things are important, and how they can be implemented into your personal and or professional life. So, with chapter 1 was how much influence you have on people. It's crazy to think about, but some things you say, people can carry with them days, weeks, months, or even years down the road. Which, that's kind of your overall goal, is to have a speech that's impactful and filled with information that people retain. Chapter 2 was just practice. Practice, practice, practice. Anytime you get a chance, whether it be in front of a mirror or in front of a group of friends, just practice it out loud, say your speech, get it down to where it's a nice, good flow. Chapter 3 was critical thinking. You always need to question your sources, make sure they're valid, and filled with reliable information. You never just want to put something in your speech because you remember somebody said it and it goes along with what you say. Chapter 13 was your dress attire. You always want to be dressed properly for the situation, and if you're not, people they might doze off and just be thinking about what you're wearing instead of actually the message that you're putting out there. Now, the things I learned from each chapter was, for chapter 1 was the internal and external noises. Everyone knows about external noises, pretty much just any noise that can be distracting to your audience. Internal, however, that's something you have to actually break through, keep the audience engaged, keep them from dozing off and just thinking about other things. Chapter 2 was the fact that people fear public speaking more than death. In my opinion, that's just absolutely mind-boggling that people fear talking in front of a group of people than death. Chapter 3 was diversity. Now, if you're like me, whenever you're in front of an audience, you just kind of look at the audience as a whole. You never really think of them as individual people, but each of them are, and when you get to know them, you realize that they're not just cookie cutter people. They each have their own lives, and everyone's just diverse. Chapter 13 was that this course has an online troubleshooting program, which I thought that was really cool that they cared enough to implement something that can help you whenever you're having technological problems. Now, why are all these things important? They obviously help you become a better public speaker, but you use public speaking every day in your life, whether it be talking one-on-one with someone, in front of a group of people, or just a whole audience of people. You always need to present yourself very highly, that way people take what you're saying to heart and they actually are impacted by it. Now, how can these things be implemented into your personal and or professional life? So in your personal life, you always need to speak properly. If you speak really poorly and dress very poorly, then people won't really take what you're saying to heart, and they might perceive you in a very negative way. However, in your professional life, you always need to present yourself nice, speak properly, and just present yourself in a nice formal way. It kind of reminds me of something my dad told me about. You always, whenever you're working, need to do the best. You never know who's watching. Whether it be you're joking around with somebody, your boss could be around the corner and hear you, and you just always, always, always need to do your best. And that pretty much wraps it up for video quiz 1. Thank you for listening.